mute yourself. You're good.
Unmute myself. Hello. Hi. How is everyone? This is great.
Good. I'm going to bring everybody over to me real quick. So, guys, I know you guys stood still. I'm sorry, but I'm just going to bring everybody here one more time. Bring users to me. Okay, now go ahead and spread out and take your seats. Jack, please meet me up on the stage, and we'll start here in just a moment.
I can't sit.
And if you got, the seating option in spatial right now is disabled. So just stand in top of a purple square real quick, if you wouldn't mind.
And just a reminder,
again, everybody, can you just please mute your mics as go ahead, BDK.
No, we have the same thought process. Just a reminder, if you are not one of the panel speakers, to mute your mic.
All right. Well, let me begin, everybody. Welcome to the Polygon Showcase. Guys, please don't touch the screen up at the top, just so everybody knows what the topic is today. I am super excited to connect and introduce you guys. Jack from Polygon Studios. She is a community development manager, and she is my
Sorry about that.
No worries. She is actually one of my favorite people in Polygon, and I'm really excited to talk with her today and talk about her journey, how she's powering Polygon, and what can we expect from Polygon Studios. So, Jack, welcome to the Polygon Showcase. We'll give you a big round of applause, and welcome.
Hello, everyone. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good. You got it.
I'm good. It's all right. Obviously, I'm not spending too much time in the metaverse, but it's all right. I'm still getting used to it. I've definitely got my avatar. I've had that for a while. I was very excited about the Ready Player Me partnership when that happened. I kept joking with the spatial folks. I was like, when legs?
Absolutely. And Jack, would love for you to kind of give us an introduction about yourself and what your background is, and talk about like what you're doing.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for inviting me, and this is so fantastic. I really love just hanging out. I'm going to be hanging out around and just taking a look after this. This is incredible because I've seen this space before, the other iteration of it. But this is like, you've like outdone yourself with this one. This is really incredible. I'm loving the new sort of layout and upgrades. Awesome. Thank you so much, Creative Alice. Yeah. All right. Well, more about myself. My name is Jack, she, her pronouns, and I'm the community development manager at Polygon Studios. So a lot of people ask me what that means, and really what it is kind of like a watching over the whole nest of the ecosystem a little bit. So I'm kind of meeting with founders of builders on Polygon, but I'm also meeting with community members and taking a temperature of the overall Web3 ecosystem. I'm pretty active. I'm a DAO contributor in a couple of different DAOs, core member. Actually, I have one of my DAO / label music projects. We have a monthly IRL event, which I'm going to after this. But I guess my background is a little bit all over the place. I started as an opera singer, so I have a fine arts background. I went into costumes, and I have a millinery background. If you know what that is, that's a hat maker. It's women's fancy hat maker. Think royal wedding. And then from there, it went into set design and art direction and sort of that route in commercials. And I think that's where I got my most valuable lessons in marketing. And I like to think it's very visceral when you're working in commercials. You know, everything's supposed to be sensitive to the senses, I guess. So you know, but you know, when you're an artist, you don't always get to have all those fun experiences. I really worked my way up. I started in food service. So I was like a barista for a really long time. And you know what? That's how I learned about hanging out with people and connecting with people. And, you know, my time in food service was definitely valuable to me too here in Web3. So literally everything that I've ever done, I feel like helped me understand people and helped me understand how to connect what needed to happen. So that's what I'm trying to do at Polygon. And it's really great to be here to connect and kind of talk more about that, and learn more about everyone's experience and just get to know what everyone's feeling.
Yeah, and you know, the Polygon Studios has changed so much over the last year, and you know, from the first time I met you to where you are, there's been a tremendous growth within the Polygon, you know, growth of what you guys want to do. Can you tell us a little bit of what you see and what you're helping to align Polygon here in the future?
Yeah, I think you know, we at Polygon expanded really quickly, and you've known I've been there to see it all, which is, it's been incredible growth, which is fantastic. You know, when Polygon says things like Web3 for all, it's really reaching to these places where, you know, other chains may not have the resources to. It's funny when you speak with people at Polygon, there's always the pre-Ryan, post-Ryan. That was like the moment, kind of like the moment of the merge. It was like, were you here pre-Ryan or post-Ryan?
Love that. I
But
love that.
yeah. So Ryan really brought this trajectory and this vision that I think we were craving. And it's been really exciting to invite others to help bring that vision to life. And it's been interesting to merge some of the Web 2, you know, what they call Web 2 and, you know, what is now considered like Web 3 native, like two very different sides of the same coin, essentially. But it is, I think it's essential if you're really thinking about it in terms of how to make things better. We have learned so much about what's great and what's bad about Web 2, you know, sort of things. And I think we can really learn. I know I've learned a lot just by, I would consider myself more on the Web 3 native side rather than more of the traditional marketing side. Again, my background, I had some marketing background, but my background primarily was in making commercials for big companies. So it really boils down to how does that blend well together, and we're all sort of figuring it out for better or for worse, we're figuring it out together. Some of that means pushing and pulling in certain places, keeping our workflows open for others to see, you know, keeping our work streams as cross-functional as possible. And you know, we are not a DAO. I will say that. We're definitely not a DAO. But what DAO ideas are cool enough to bring into a corporate sort of work style, I guess you can say. So that's some of the things that I think about when I'm working with my teammates is, you know, working with the best practices, and then also spreading that as well as far as possible if we find something that works.
Yeah, man, and that's what I'm excited about. When Ryan came, if you guys don't know, Ryan is the new CEO at Polygon Studios, and he has a heavy marketing background in gaming and blockchains, and they're building something special. And some of the things that they're building special that I saw at NFT NYC was the Polygon Hub. Can you talk to me about what you guys did there and your presence there and some of the activities that you had going on at NFT NYC?
Yeah, so NFT NYC was a really special moment for me because they trusted me to do all of their programming. Again, that was back when the marketing team was 8 people. But they were like, can you just run this whole thing? And I said, like the very sane non-workaholic I am, I said, yes, I'll do all of this work plus my regular work. But it was so much fun to meet I interviewed over 60 founders to fill up 3 days of panels. And yeah, it was a lot of work. It was really, really fun. And I wrote every question, and what I really envisioned this to be was this moment for a blockchain to really set itself apart from others in the conversations that it's having. A lot of people talk all this noise and all of this stuff all the time, and it can get things can get lost. But I think if you are in the room when these very interesting conversations are happening, those are so many potential moments, so many potential aha moments for so many folks. And I try to facilitate as many of those as possible because I never know who's sitting in the room. I never know who's inspired by some of those conversations. And that's really what I'm pushing and moving towards. One of the people, actually one of the panels that I moderated, the expressions in the metaverse, we actually had Spatial, Gia from Spatial on that panel, and she made me cry because she's so good at just tugging at the heartstrings. But after that panel, Expressions in the Metaverse, someone from Instagram came up to me and was like, I never thought about dancers as making a dance NFT. So I have a dancer friend, and I brought my dancer friend in last minute because someone had canceled very, very last minute. And I was able to have the first dancer NFT minted on any blockchain, Dylan Mayorial from London. He was on my panel, and they were like, wow, I never thought about dance being of value. Like, it's the number one thing that everyone looks at on their phone. I never thought they could also capture that value with NFT. And I was like, yes, this is why I am here. Think about all of the different ways to impact an artist's life if they just figure out how. And I have a million stories like that. I love sharing the possibilities of what blockchain can do, especially to artists, especially when they don't think that they have anything that they can offer technology. And then I can say, you absolutely can.
I love that. And yeah, it was such a special place. And yeah, definitely a round of applause. You did an amazing job hosting, having all these interviews. And you guys have to understand, part of Jack's job is not just meeting with like one brand. She meets with Mona. She meets with Spatial. She meets with Decentraland. She meets with every one of those community people in the Polygon space. So this is probably one of the heavy hitters that's really pushing Polygon into the future. And I'm honored and I'm very proud that it's you, and I get to know you as a person. When I first met you, I introduced you to you and I told you about what I was doing. And the thing about me that really kind of struck with me is that you didn't laugh at me, you didn't judge me, you didn't have any grudges or didn't think anything negative of it, and you really thought, okay, you can do it, and I'm going to help you support that. And look where we're at today. So thank you for the support from the very beginning, Jack. And thank
pleasure.
You for powering
so
brands
easy.
like my. Yeah, and what I want to talk about is brands. Why is Polygon so attractive to these big brands like we've seen with Starbucks, with Disney, and so on? Why is Polygon becoming more attractive?
Well, why is Polygon becoming more attractive to these brands? I think they're seeing the level of seriousness that we are in bringing this technology to everyone. And it starts first with the technology, of course, because, we have that tech to back it up. I think beyond that, we have a very professional team. I think our team is one of the most incredible teams in the Web3 space, if I can say so myself, just knowing everyone's background. And I've seen a lot of incredible teams. That's not to say anything, but maybe I'm just biased. I really think our team is just so stellar and has such a potential and mix of different, but it's a mix though. That's what I think is the special sauce that Polygon has. It's that mix of like natives like me mixing with OGs, you know, that have been there for a million years. And they're like just, you know, absolute veterans in the space.
I appreciate it. Looks like we have a hot mic. DDK or CCK. CC, can you please take care of that? I just can't see.
Hello.
Jack,
Hello.
Good. Can you please mute your mic? Thank you, sir. Jack, another question for you is
Sure.
around Polygon. There's so many different communities around Polygon. Can you kind of give us like a quick overview of some of the communities that you've seen that have really stood out? I know the LGBT community stands out for you. You know, the art community. Can you kind of talk about those and see, you know, kind of talk about the health of where?
Yeah, I would say that like the NFT community on Polygon is ever growing, and it is attracting like more diverse voices, like Prizem Collective, who I had on a panel at NFT NYC, who uplift and raise the voices of LGBTQ BIPOC folks. So yeah, the landscape of the Polygon community, definitely our DeFi is super strong. I would say all of our Aave folks are really strong. In gaming, Avagachi, the Gachi gang, I'm sure some folks probably even hold them, maybe even here. They're awesome. I love the Gachi gang. And then Crypto Mibs, a lot of folks also probably have worked with Crypto Mibs. Like that tournament community is so incredible. And the regularity of like where those tournaments happen and like just all the awesome stuff there. Who else? I mean, there's so many little micro communities. My job with the Twitter spaces that I do on Tuesdays and Thursdays with the studios is really to like bring a lot of those projects together. So it's, you know, I'll have things like calling out creators, and it'll be, you know, creator tools that people can use in different ways, and like talking about that, or like talking about games on, you know, whatever games or virtual worlds, or like, you know, just different topics, bringing and inviting like 2 or 3, you know, maybe 5 projects to like talk about their different stuff that they have to offer. So it's a great way to sort of learn about more of these tools that I'm trying to bring. I'm also trying to do like also the paperwork of it all is that I have to bring this sort of stuff to life in form of like resources. So we're working really hard to try and build those resources, but the ecosystem exploded and it's so busy. So it's like we're getting new tools all the time that we can keep adding to. So it's just going to have to be a growing list we're finding.
Yeah, with the new tools, has allowed more creators to come in and new communities to grow and build, just like what you're seeing here today. And we're seeing a lot of these creators are starting to join the Polygon studios and become partners. You have the Victorian that just joined. You have Sofrutix, you have the Troglodyte, you have myself. And what you're doing for us is giving us like a platform for us to show off our brand, to show that we're verified and we're backed up. Now, I know you probably get this a lot of questions. If there are people out there or creators that are in here, the space, and they might be thinking of like creating a product and brand to become a Polygon Studio partner or work with you, what are some of the best things that you would suggest them to do?
Well, I would say, you know, just look into the resources that we have right now, which is the Polygon Village, which is run by the Polygon DAO. But there are going to be much clearer steps, I would say, in the future that we're working on, where it's going to be a lot more of yourself being able to find these resources that you need to grow your communities, to kind of find the support that you need, and hopefully get you building on Polygon for sure.
I love that, and also with the ETH merge, Jack. Polygon when Carbon, zero. Can you talk a little bit about that and talk about how that's going to help the growth of Polygon?
Oh yeah, so we've gone down. I think that one of our very trusted third party said that it was 99.95% of our footprint was erased after the merge, which is insane. so that was 56, tons emissions, like 56 whatever thousand tons a year, which is insanely low compared to a lot of other options out there. So that is really going to allow us to do a lot more into like auditing of ourselves to ensure that we are actually going to carbon neutral, and that includes the bandwidth that takes to run operations as well. So I think it's nothing but positive. But we've always been on this mission. We've understood that that was one of the narratives that people always come back to. They always come back to, is this going to be sustainable? You're ruining the world by by having all this blockchain and technology, and we do understand it's critical to change that. So I think they've done a great job of really focusing and auditing ourselves through KlimaDAO, and by seeing the long-term roadmap that we really wanted to go beyond that if we can, and have a surplus of carbon credits if we can build that up to make up for the other people who maybe can't or haven't done that yet, because it's not just like going neutral, it's also like creating a surplus and creating an abundance of these carbon credits, as many as we can, if we can keep building on these efficiencies and upgrades from the software.
I love it. And we talk about software and technology, and Polygon has had I think over 20,000 dApps or even more created, and we're seeing NFT creators and artists are starting to dabble with creating their own applications in their dApps and creating some cool variations. Now, can you tell me a little bit more on the educational side? How is like Polygon looking to educate or provide more open source educational for creators?
Definitely, yes. This is always at the top of my mind because we are always looking for more ways to just get everyone on the same page. And while we do have a number of ways to do that ourselves, we are still very much looking to teach our teachers, I think is what I like to think about it as. So we have a couple of different avenues to learn, but what I think a little bit more of my work is teaching founders of games or protocols or tools or whatever, any sort of founders. A lot of what my work is right now is like building this educational resource to teach them how to teach their communities, because we can reach the Polygon community, which is a lot of different buckets, especially when you're a blockchain. There's so many different types of education that need to happen. But I think in order for us to be the most impactful, it would be as I see it, like the best way to do that is to reach all these founders, to let them know this is what you should be thinking about. This is not what you should be thinking about, but like this is the foundations of what a great community can look like, and you can look into these avenues in order to find the answers that are right for your community. So just giving them the tools to teach their communities as well. So that's a lot of what my work is right now, building. In fact, that was a little bit of what I was doing before I was in here. Was building out that resource.
No,
I feel
good.
this like I feel this like urge to go fast when I'm at. This is like one of the things that I have to like pause on, which I'm glad to do sometimes, but I always feel an urge to go very fast because I know everyone's always asking for things and needs things very quickly. And but it's like a balance between like wanting to go fast and do everything, but also like I'm taking time off to the rest of the day, like a healthy person, to go do the rest of my life things. I'll allot myself a couple of hours in the morning to do some work if I really feel like it's a worthy cause. Balance.
Yeah, no, it's good, and I think that's also very important. As we obviously, as we're all creators or we're in this Web3 space, we can all testament a week here is like a month in the real world, and
Yeah.
taking a step back breaks allows us to be more creative and allows us to be more strategic with our approach. Now, on the creative side, can you tell us a little bit more of your creative side? I know you've got some dancing background and some like artistic, some arts around that. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I went to school for opera, and I'm a lifelong musician. But lately, in the past 4 years or so, I've found dance to be something that really to me. So I've been doing that. It's actually funny. One of my first gigs ever as a dancer was volumetrically captured in like a virtual world created with Reggie Watts and John Tejada, which is like this dance music project that he was doing, and it was a Sundance New Frontier kind of program, and so it was a VR interactive music video, and you can interact with the dancers, and we were in this giant dome, green dome with a million cameras just surrounding us and capturing every little minute as volumetrically captured. So that was my first time entering the metaverse, literally. I was in 2018.
No, that's awesome. And go ahead.
Yeah, and then from there it was, after the pandemic, it obviously shut down a lot of the dance capabilities and dance stuff, and so that led me to kind of find my own practice at home a lot, as everyone else did, I'm sure. And yeah, I think my first NFT project was Dropped On Foundation, and it was just this like Buto inspired performance, which is like this Japanese dance art theater style. And I had my friend take black and white photographs on film, and I scanned those and minted them on NFT. I used 5 of them as NFTs on Foundation. And one of them sold, which is great already. I didn't really I was just like, I only wanted to sell my first one, and then it's like, okay, we got one down. And then I dropped a free edition recently for my birthday. I saw that the dance community, if you don't know, the dance NFT community is very tight. If anyone is in here, I don't know if I see anyone, but yeah, the dance NFT community is very, very tight. And so we, for our birthdays lately, we've been either drop a dance in the comments on Twitter, or, someone was like, for me, it was like, I just gave everyone an edition for a week. They can claim an edition of a small dance that I did. And yeah, it's just fun things that we do for each other, but we really uplift each other. And I think that's such a key thing that I also see in this community, is following each other, liking all of their posts, retweeting, just really having that community support. Honestly, I wouldn't have sold that first NFT if I didn't have the support of the dance NFT community, for sure, 100%. I give every thanks to them that they, one of their collectors found me through them.
No, yeah, and thanks for letting me know about that. And I wanted to touch on that because you're so focusing on the marketing, connecting, uplifting, educating, but how do you express yourself? What is your outlet? And I wanted to talk about that. And your dance is your one way, but also you're also in a community, and I think that's what makes you special. You're not just one side of the office. You're the front end and you're the back end, because you see all different sides of that. And I feel like people like you are the ones that are powering Polygon. And I want to say thank you so much for joining me today on this panel session, to getting to know what's going on with Polygon Studios, how our Polygon is getting stronger, how the community with NFTs is moving forward, and how our dApps are being created. Jack, I appreciate it. I will let you guys have, if anybody has any questions, please just stand next to me on the side, and then unmute yourself, and then you can ask Jack. We'll give her another 10 minutes or so, and then I know she has an IRL event. But Jack, thank you so much. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask.
Bye.
All right. If nobody has any questions and everybody's good, Jack, thank you again
Yeah.
so much for your time. I
No
appreciate
worries.
it. You and I we'll be in the chat soon. Thank you so much. And
For sure.
guys,
Thank
I'll let you
so
guys
much.
get another break, and then we'll pick it up here at 3 o'clock. I'm gonna let you guys chat and connect here in a second.